Man has to start with something and then develop it. He cannot ever make anything from nothing. Only God can do that and call forth the creation. Yet as I read the birth stories about Jesus, I cannot help but conclude that though the world may be tilted toward the rich and powerful, God is tilted toward the underdog. Only God gives true love. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. A high view of God and a low view of man affects how a church views salvation, not principally for the sake of man, but for the glory of God. So at least let me briefly state that the Bible is not man's best thoughts about God, but rather there is ample evidence the Bible is in fact God's thoughts on paper. The otherness of God is mind-boggling. It is incomprehensible for us. He is so unlike us that it should inspire wonder and awe, and yet he became like us to rescue our souls. It is good for us to meditate on his greatness, knowing that we will never fully understand him. My prayer today is that we will feel the loving arms of God wrapped around us, and will know in our hearts that he will never forsake us as we trust in him. We are not alone. At least we are alone only if we choose to be alone. We are alone only if we choose to go through life relying solely on our own strength rather than learning to draw upon the power of God. Patience is tied very closely to faith in our Heavenly Father. Actually, when we are unduly impatient, we are suggesting that we know what is best better than does God, or at least we are asserting that our timetable is better than his. We can grow in faith only if we are willing to wait patiently for God's purposes and patterns to unfold in our lives on his timetable. When I pray for another person, I am praying for God to open my eyes so that I can see that person as God does, and then enter into the stream of love that God already directs toward that person.